Hi, welcome to my channel, Grit, Grind and Gratitude, where we talk to micro-entrepreneurs about their journey of becoming a micro-entrepreneur and walking that path. Grit, Grind and Gratitude shares stories of resilience, of purpose and values-led entrepreneurs who are shaping their futures boldly. Hi Harshada, it's a pleasure to welcome you on our channel, Grit, Grind and Gratitude. For our listeners, and I know you are an Ayurvedic doctor and now you run an amazing cafe. So introduce yourself to the world.
Thank you so much, Dipanwita. I'm very excited to talk to you. I'm Harshada. I am by profession an Ayurveda practitioner. So I have a qualification in Ayurveda from India. It is, I believe my life's work. My entire life revolves around the concepts of Ayurveda, and I try to bring it into practice, as much as I can. Within my family, with people I interact with. And then, of course, when you say the cafe, we're talking about Meera's, and Meera's is something that I inherited by marriage. So also a very big part of my life, trying to bring the two, merge the two, parts of life that, that occupy so much of space. And that's basically who I am, just going through life with whatever comes into the picture.
When I was in South Africa, I was to look forward to having dosas and idlis at the Meera Café. So tell us more about what Meera does, what all does it offer, and just a brief glimpse of how it started and how long back you got into it and what is your role there. Yeah.
Right. So, Meera's is now an 18-year-old establishment. In October of 2025, we celebrated our 18th anniversary of Meera's, specifically at the Bryanston Market in Bryanston, Johannesburg. It was a very organic start, to the cafe. So it was really my husband, when he moved to South Africa, he had a bunch of friends. They would frequent the Bryanston Market, on a social, in social ways. And somebody said, I think he had invited some people home for dinner and had prepared these dosas, and people were taken aback, by all of this, and said, we need to have this food in the market. And of course, he's got no, a restaurant background, none of that, working a corporate job. Meera's was born on a Saturday morning, presented to, the management at Bryanston Market. They were taken aback by the fact that you had this dish that was completely vegetarian, contained no amount of gluten, no dairy as well, which ticked off a lot of boxes for a lot of people, a South African population that do have quite a bit of allergies
dairy.
Or those kinds of things. And it started as a little hole in the wall in the Bryanston Market, hardly selling 10 dosas, on a Saturday morning. Nobody knew what it was. It was a completely, foreign thing 20 years ago. And, that's how it started, slowly talking about, the fact that it's the South Indian cuisine, a very staple cuisine from the south of India. And the fact that it is made from rice and lentils, and then stuffed, filled with, multiple, vegetarian options, started telling the story. And that's how people started, attempting to try the food, venture into something new, something different. And it grew from there. Currently, we have an operation which runs twice a week, and we have a staff component of 5 people who produce the dosas. We do the cooking on site. Everything is fresh, made with a lot of love, because we understand that food is nourishment. It's not just a business. It has grown, as I said, organically, and so we've made a lot of friends. We've made a lot of connections. We've built this community around this.
Yeah.
And so it just, it continues organically. I came into the picture a little bit after it started. And I found that it was becoming an expensive hobby. So, tried to clean up the operations a little bit, do bulk buying, wholesale, go to the wholesalers, procure all the ingredients and what we require to run the store, and do it run it a little more kind of efficiently. And that was about 13 years ago, perhaps, where we started kind of streamlining, our offerings, putting out, very professional menus, a little bit of social media. Up until that point, even till today, I think the social media kind of presence of Meera's is also still quite minimal. We have a very big following of people. We have a loyal customer base. Our promise is to serve fresh food. Food is such a big part of our life, and it is amazing to be able to offer this kind of food and have the response that we have from our community around that food. It's a really beautiful space, because there's a lot of tradition, there's a lot of philosophy behind the venue for Meera's. And there's so much of story behind it, right? A lot of people think that I am Meera, but actually I'm Harshada, and Meera was my mother-in-law, who was responsible for this, for teaching the boys how to cook. My husband knows how to cook. He knows how to make a dosa from start to finish, purely because of who Meera was. And this is kind of like a tribute to her and her life, which we are very lucky to continue because of the support that we have from our community and from our customers, without whom we could not run this operation at this scale 18 years later.
What is so amazing is that, when I used to come there and I used to bring my white people, like from people, friends who were from the white background, and to teach them how this, this is equivalent to a crepe. And, simple things because something which comes very naturally to us as Indians, that we accept dosas and idlis as part, and we know it's wholesome. For our listeners, I want to put it out there that idli is supposed to be, I think it was ranked by WHO as one of the most wholesome food, not very long back. And the freshness, and I know the passion with which your staff also, explains what it is, how it is made, And so this must have been quite like, educating the customers is still a kind of a area of work, I think, because even after so many years of experience, people are still, and I know you have a very dedicated clientele of people who, South Africa is a very fitness culture, country. And Saturday morning, I know that people would run, people would do their whatever fitness activity, and they would call up Meera's and say that, this is our order, please have it ready. And Meera's would have it ready when they've rocked up. So
Right.
amazing amount of work around customer management, also training, because you've trained Black people as your staff into a cuisine which they have never grown up eating, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So
So,
tell us more
so
about
yeah.
that.
So Bryanston Market, I mean, and the Bryanston Market celebrates 50 years as an establishment this year. It was established in 1976, and it started out as just parents from the school who were just kind of, growing things and sharing things like a barter kind of a system. And then, of course, from there, it grew into this idea that we need a place where people can come and avail things that are wholesome, things that are nutritious, things that are good, things that are natural, and perhaps even organic. And so the entire, I think, the ethos of the space is something that was easy to align with. Taking the dosa, taking the idli, taking the masala chai. It's comfort. As you said, in an Indian context, it's second nature, right? But in a South African context, not many people know how to do things without using wheat as an ingredient. And here you have a complete meal that we are making purely out of rice and lentils. And then there are the misconceptions of, oh, you're using rice flour and you're using, lentil flour and all of that. But no, our operation is, authentic. That has always been the idea, that we would bring authenticity to our offering the way we do at home. So, the batter is made in the traditional way, using the rice, using the dals, soaking them in water, then grinding them through the stone grinders. And so, yes, we are having to, even today, educate people around this, because even today in South Africa, there are many people who have not tasted a dosa yet, or, been acquainted with one yet. So we do have that. Yes, we do also have a very loyal following, a loyal customer base. You have people who come regularly on a Saturday morning. It's a ritual for them. It's part of their weekend ritual to come and have a dosa, come and have a plate of idli, come and have a chai, chit chat, maybe meet up with friends for brunch, whatever it may be. It's a very beautiful setting. It's an open air setting. It's a garden setting. It's a very slowed down kind of a pace of a place. And so, yes, we are, year on year trying to educate people around the value of eating this kind of food that is first and foremost fresh. Everything is made, apart from the batter, which requires fermentation. The fermentation is also a very pertinent, step in the process of making the dosa, because we believe, and through nutrition and through science and my Ayurveda background, that often a fermented food is almost half digested. So it's easier to digest. And while we always talk about moderation in Ayurveda, it also lines up very nicely for us at Meera's, because then Meera's is not a Monday to Sunday affair, but it's a bi-weekly affair, and it brings that excitement of people know that they've got to come on those days, otherwise they're not going to get it otherwise.
Which is very relevant because in today's world,
yeah.
it's an on-demand world, and
Right.
like our children are just are not realizing that you have to wait for certain good things, and
Yes.
sometimes the wait makes it more precious to you as a memory. Because
Yes.
even on programs, we've come to a point where it's on demand. Everything is on demand.
Yes. So here you have to, do a little bit of planning. No, we're not open Monday to Friday. You've got to kind of fit into our into our schedule. My husband and I both, we work. So a lot of what happens at Meera's is carried by our staff. And some of them have been around for, since the time Meera's became. So it's been a really long time. Familiar faces. If you come to Meera's after 2 or 3 years, you'll be sure to find the same people around. The girls, the local South Africans have. We've been lucky to be able to come into contact with people where we don't require, a full-time chef, where we've been able to train them how to essentially make a dosa. And I must say, my head chef at the moment, her name is Ranzu, and she produces a mean dosa, and she's very proud of it. She does it with so much of dedication and so much of passion, because whatever, we may be just lucky to find somebody like her who can share the sentiment of the kind of dosa, the kind of meal that needs to come out of that kitchen. We do place a lot of emphasis on on the fact that something that is prepared and that is being ingested by somebody else needs to be prepared with a lot of care, and a lot of attention, and
a lot of heart, love, actually.
Yes. So I think this is, if I can say so, it's one of the things that stands out about Meera's, that we do bring the sentiment to our customers. It's very important to us. For me, it is especially important because I know the effect of what we consume, how we consume it, and how that plays out in our physical body, but also in our emotional body, right? Food is a feeling. Food is a culture. Food is family. Food is nourishment. Food is comfort. All of those things, and we strive to bring that to every person that comes past our stall. So very thankful, very grateful that we've been able to set it, or that it has become this this operation, as I said before, in an organic manner. It's not something that we were chasing. It has naturally unfolded to become this place. And so, and our job currently is to ensure that it continues in that way, and that we can keep our customers happy.
So tell me, Harshada, you come from an Ayurveda background, and how nutrition and your knowledge of Ayurvedic way of eating food influences what comes out of Meera's.
So yes, I'm responsible for the operations and the back end. So procuring the ingredients. I'm also, trying to be very conscious of the way in which I do that. It can be stressful, right? Some of the challenges which you said we will talk about. But a lot of, I think when we talk about Ayurveda, we know that Ayurveda is a way of, is a science that is teaching us about how to live, how to go through life in a balanced manner so that we can stay well, right? We can sleep well. We can function optimally in our families, in society, in our jobs, in the workplace, whatever it may be. But fundamentally, to function optimally as a human being. And food is such an important part of that, because food is fuel, right? A lot of people talk about food as medicine, and yes, food does have a role to play when it comes to us being in a state of imbalance. But I believe that food is fuel, right? Our bodies require food to function. And so it is important that we give our bodies the correct fuel. And the correct fuel is not just necessarily XYZ, carrots and cucumbers and lettuce and tomatoes and like that. But the correct fuel is how we feel when we are consuming, right? So fresh, clean, coming out of a place where, it's aromatic, right? This is where we start first, is that you smell the food. And this is something that stands out at Meera's. It's an open place. When we're doing the tarka in the morning, for the potatoes and, for the sambar and everything, those aromas are circulating through that market, and it's waking people up. And a lot of that also has a role to play in the digestive juices, slowly, becoming to ingest this food and then digest this food and assimilate this food to then become fuel for every cell of our body. And therefore, food is such an important, food plays such an important role in our lives. And that is why it's so important to do food right. And this is a lot of the background at Meera's. It's not just a quick kind of a place where you just come and pick up food, right? There's a lot of other things that happen there. And so, yes, we do try to bring the Ayurveda element because it is a very traditional, a lot of these foods, for example, even rice as a grain has come in the scriptures of Ayurveda, in the texts of Ayurveda, and they have been elaborated as foods that human beings should be consuming for whatever purposes. So we do again. There's always this. There is in the background. The drive is there is a foundation that exists. Our promise is clean, fresh, wholesome. When I say fresh, I mean fresh. Everything is cut and cooked on the scene. Over the years, we have been able to also streamline this. We actually cook food as it is required. So it's not cooked in the morning and then we're just kind of trying to, sell it off as the day goes along, but actually it is cooked on demand. Potatoes are produced, they're cut and they're boiled, watching the stocks. The potato stock is going down. We've still got, quite a few people coming in. Let's cook another pot of potatoes. So everything is cut, even the peppers, the onions, everything that is used is cut as it is required. So nothing is refrigerated. It's coming in its whole form, which again aligns with a lot of the philosophy of the Bryanston Market. The ethos of that market is that it's fresh, and I think that is very important in today's day and age, because we do live very fast lives. We do tend to reach out for convenience. There is a takeout culture. We have removed ourselves from that very thing that is meant to nourish us and keep us moving along. And these are the sentiments that that Ayurveda bring around food, around the culture of food. It's not just we eat because we live. We eat because we need to live and we need to function, in a physical way, in a mental capacity, in all sorts. So we are very conscious of these things when we are bringing out food, anything new onto our menu as well. I think the Ayurveda and Meera's tie-in is also something that has become, it's quite organic. I had no clue that I would be doing something like this, when I was out in India studying, to become an Ayurvedic doctor. And but this is also very, very telling of how interlinked everything is, and how sometimes things happen and you just go with the flow.
Yeah. Beautiful. Before I start salivating and start smelling your delicious dosa aromas, let me switch the conversation and talk about what were some of your high points, if you reflect back, of your association with Meera's. What are the high points of that journey?
I think predominantly, probably my husband would agree, is we have seen people grow in that space. Families, right? Couples, they've added children. We've seen young children, okay, become young adults and beyond, okay? Young children going into the workplace. We've seen this, on a weekly basis because of this idea of the community. We've seen ourselves become more and more popular as the years are going by. This is a big, this is a high point because it is also a reminder that we are doing something right. We are doing something good. And perhaps we are, our intentions are being met by people who perhaps share those same sentiments. We had COVID. We managed to survive through COVID. That was a really big achievement for a business of our size. We are being called to do events. We are doing small kind of weddings. We do birthday parties. We really tailor making, to suit people's requirements. And we really do try to meet them at that place as much as we can. But we also try to do that with a lot of honesty around what is possible for us with our busy schedules, taking into account that we also have children, young children, who require, our time and energy. I think that's also a highlight, is that my children have also grown. The market and Meera's is inherent in their lives. There was never a time for them where there was no Meera's. So that is also, that's a high point. That is a legacy. That is that is something that we have created out of a lot of hard work. 50 weeks out of 52 weeks in a year. I guess, and also the staff component is a big thing. Without them, the operation doesn't run, and we're not able to do this without them. And we have just been so lucky and so fortunate to find the right people to play out, this ideas that we have, and to help us to achieve that in that manner. Even the front counter, if you don't see if you don't see us there, you're still going to be greeted with a smile and a lot of care and a lot of, concern and all of those things. It's all familiar. We're trying to keep that familiarity, because we know that people come looking for us. So so those are a lot of the highs. There are a lot of highs. The connections that we've made through being there, the friendships we have made along the way. I think a lot of lifelong friendships, a lot of contacts all over the world. We have people who come into South Africa, and on multiple occasions, people coming and saying, "I just landed, had to come and get a dosa fix, had to come and get a chai fix." So these kinds of things, they really inspire us and motivate us. That okay, as hard as it can be sometimes, it's worth it. It's worth it in the bigger scheme of things. Yeah.
So I hear a lot of, pride around the loyal customer base, which has kept coming back to you over the years. And I also heard pride around your staff, the way it is able to hold the ethos together. That I want to delve a little deeper on that, because small businesses face a lot of issues around staffing, the right kind of staffing. And tell us, reflect for a moment and tell, what do you do at yourself and your husband's end to create the kind of staff you attract or you have attracted?
So that could be a mixture of things, Dipandita. I'm the introvert in this, right? So I'm working in the background, right? I procure and I make sure that things are running on schedule, and this is packed and all of those kinds of things. And then my husband is the one who is the extrovert, right? He's the one that makes friends with anybody and everybody, and that's how we find the staff, right? Is there's a connection. A lot of it has been luck. I have to say, I think there is a luck component always. Like I said, it's not us going out and looking for somebody. My staff, they are people who have done domestic work. In a South African setting, we are very lucky, again, very spoiled to have this domestic help, people to come and help us, in our homes, to help us with chores. And most of our staff have come out of that. All right. They've come as domestic help. And, I think maybe some of them may feel like we've just forced them into it, like, no, you can do it, And that's how it is. We've never advertised a job for a person, we need a cook, we need somebody to help with the dishes. It's just all happened very organically. And I think maybe just zoning in on this idea of relationships. I think relationships are what make us human. I think without relationships, nothing happens, right? Everything is relating. Everything that we do every day, every time we come into contact with somebody, it's relating. And I think something I've learned from my husband is that if you can relate, in that way, and if you can make an effort to relate, then you've crossed that hurdle. There isn't really anything else to it. And I think that a lot of people, I think over the years, from feedback, from people's reviews, from what people say to us on our faces, I think we've got that down. We have, even our staff, as I said, we can't do it without them. And while it's a small operation, we do know that however small it still is impactful, just because of these relationships. And yeah, and again, I mean, I talked about domestic work, but I mean, we have one member on our staff who was just, like doing gardening work. All right. And then we've taken him and we've put him in the shop, and it's and so they've all learned. They're all learning. There's so much. There's always place to learn.
Yeah, so
Even for
you've
us.
invested a
Yeah.
lot into training people and to mold them
Absolutely.
to become who they are today. So and I'm sure
Right.
that they value that growth in themselves, doing something
I
as passionately as you are doing it.
I think so. If you come and visit Meera's, as I said, you will find Ranzu making her dosas there and putting them with so much of pride onto the plate, and looking forward to people commenting on how amazing their meal was. And I think that is also key. It's a link. A lot of that, it motivates and drives that same kind of behavior, right? So when it's positive, we've got that cycle kind of taken care of. They want to do more of that because it gives them that recognition. People are recognizing them for the work that they are doing, and I think that's great.
Tell me
Yeah.
now, in this, I'm sure there are challenges and,
Yes.
challenges of running a small business
Mhm.
are there. So delve a little deeper on those challenges,
So
your day-to-day operational challenges or even broad level challenges.
yes, so the business is very time sensitive, right? The way the dosa ends up on the plate, there are multiple steps before that need to happen um, at a specific time. The dosa batter is very, it's temperature sensitive, right? Weather sensitive. So when it's cold, we have to start that operation a little sooner. When it's warm, we need to take it down a little bit. So the schedule is ever changing throughout the year, even though the days that we operate are fixed. So that is a challenge. Also, we have faced challenges in terms of stock. A lot of what we use is coming from. A lot of it comes from India. A lot of our suppliers are getting, the supply from different places, and oftentimes that chain of, that supply chain can be interrupted for whatever reason. So those are some of the challenges. Also, again, the weather, when it comes to the fact that we are an open air, market. So when it rains, we're not always able to produce as many dosas as we would on a beautiful sunny day. So those are challenges because it requires you to be on top of, making decisions around how much of stock, how much of cooking are we going to do, how much of batter are we going to prepare. And we've had those instances where we thought, you know what, nothing's going to happen today, prepare less, and then get sold out and have to turn people away. So, those are the challenges, but we try to, smile through those, give people, a free meal every now and then, complimentary meals. We do feel, we don't take it lightly when we turn people away. It really bothers us, it worries us. We bring it back, even home once we've closed shop, like, we had to say no. It's challenging, even those emotions, to go through them, because we know, we do know that our customers enjoy our food for a large part. We do know of people who come looking for us. You kind of try to put yourself in their shoes. You really want to have that meal, and you go to the counter and they don't have it, oh no, like we're sold out of that, like what that makes you, feel like. So we understand how people feel when they come up to the counter and we say, I'm so sorry, we're sold out, or I'm so sorry, we don't have that, or we take it personally. We take everything personally, not in a negative way. Always to improve, always to do better for our customers and for the people, and not just our regular customers. I think we want to be as impactful to anybody who's new, first timers, people who've never been able to imagine, a dish like this. So we do take it personally. It's all about the relationship.
Cool. We've talked about high points, we've talked about challenges. Won't you delve a little deeper and talk about what will be your advice to entrepreneurs or micro entrepreneurs who are starting out now? And what are certain things that they should be mindful about? Or what are your learnings from, like, what is the advice you would give to yourself, like,
All right.
Yeah.
I think so. Going back to how I said all of this has happened in a very organic way. Yes, there is a lot of hard work on the back end. There are lots of sacrifices to be made, which is the case for any small business, right? Not just ours. We are very mindful of the fact that there are so many people out there doing their own thing, with a lot of challenges. But I mean, I'm looking at, the 3G, the grit, the grind, and gratitude. It's something I think gratitude drives a lot. So opportunity, to be grateful for opportunities, and then to do as much as you possibly can, with the right intentions, always, always with a clean heart, and I think also with not a lot of expectation, right? So just do, one foot in front of the other, one foot. It's a lot of what we still do. I mean, I've had my kids through this operation, right? I mean, when I had my son, I was standing in the market the day before he was born. Okay, so you can do anything, right? If you put your mind to it. And a lot of the times, like in my case, as I said in the beginning, I inherited this, right, in my marriage, and it hasn't always been the best part of my life because it requires a lot of work. And in my case, it's a lot of physical work as well. There's a lot of mental work, a lot of planning, to get it perfectly right. But there's a lot of physical work as well. And a lot of the times I find myself having to speak to myself and say, I can do this. It's okay. I'm not sitting in a clinic somewhere seeing patients, but this is as important. And I have the business to show, right? It's week on week where you go in, you do your job, and it's rewarding, right? And some days it's not rewarding, but nobody said that it was always going to be perfect, right? It never is. Life is not. And so to take the ups and the downs, it's all part of it. But I think for me personally, bearing in mind what I do at Meera's, my role here, is really, it really is, it's relationships, right? It's a big part of who we are as people. It's a big part of who we are as an organization. And so for anybody, this word entrepreneur, I mean, I've studied a little bit formally also, how to become an entrepreneur. But I think a lot of that is inherent. I think it takes a certain kind of an ethic to be an entrepreneur. We are told that entrepreneurs are solving, problems for the greater, population, or for people in general. And so always be mindful of that. And don't let it affect your ego. Always remember that when you are in a business of doing, there has to be somebody on the receiving end for you to be able to do what you do. And that is a very, very big sentiment at Meera's, is that we are nothing without the people on the other side. We cannot put a dosa in front of a nobody, right? So somebody has to be on the receiving end in order for us to do the work that we do. And we are very grateful for that. We are very aware of that. And that is what drives our business forward. And I think anybody out there who is looking to start something or do something, really think very carefully about what it is that you want to do. It's often the story, it's often the sentiment. We hear it all the time, but I think that at Meera's we have experienced that it is our story. It is what we bring. It is who we are. It is this complete experience that we want people to have with us, which drives what we do. We're trying to solve people's problems. We may not be able to. We are aware of that. But however, in whatever capacity we're able to do that, if it's just a smile, or if it's just a how are you, if it's just a hug, if it's just a good, fresh, wholesome meal, so be it. So for anybody out there who's thinking of doing something, I think also always to remember that there isn't anybody out there who's doing something with no effort. Everything requires effort. They may be of different magnitude, but we are all different, and so the way we experience things are going to be different. But hard work is part of life, and don't run away from it. And oftentimes there are things that you will not like. You will question yourself, time and time again. But I think the true kind of the grit and the grind, right, is it is that. It's grit and grind. It's just getting through it every day, even through the stuff that you don't like. And if you can come out on the other side, having the response that we have at Meera's, then that is the message that you are doing something right, and keep on trying to improve that. But hard work, dedication, and come what may, keep at it.
Yeah, ethic. I also heard ethic. I heard putting one step when you can't see the whole journey, just put your next step forward. Yeah. Beautiful learnings. So Harshada, one last question. I know that you and your husband have decided to keep Meera small. Touch upon the beauty of being a small business.
So there's this saying, right? I think it's Schumacher. It says, "Small is beautiful," and I think so there's a lot of beauty in that. In that little. It's a little place. It's a little space. We are accessible. People want to see me, they can see me. People want to see, my husband, they can see him. I think there's a charm to simplicity. I think there's, it's real. It's also manageable, right? We have to think about how much we can do, how much is enough, how much is too much. And so I think we know that we don't want to be big. We love what it is. Of course, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth. Um, but we're not looking to grow exponentially. We want to keep a control on this. It shouldn't happen that it kind of goes out of our capacity and our reach, um, and then suddenly we're not able to maintain, this idea and this ethos and these ethics. So by keeping it, I don't want to say contained, by keeping it little and by keeping it the way it is, I think it can maintain its charm. It can maintain its, whatever it is, whatever people know it to be, it maintains that comfort zone for people that come there. People are not telling us, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? No, our menu is very basic. We have added on a couple of things here and there, but we're not looking for it to go, out of our control. We start losing, what is important in that business, in that relationship.
You truly embody that to have a purpose-led, values-driven business and to keep the ethos alive, you have chosen to be a true micro-entrepreneur. Thank you so much, Harshada, for being our guest today. Your journey highlights a lot of grit, a lot of grind, and oodles of gratitude for for Meera's in existence. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for chatting to me, or allowing me to chat about it.
If you liked this interview, please don't forget to subscribe by pressing the bell icon and follow us on our social media handles as we talk to more and more micro entrepreneurs who are living their dreams boldly.